सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम सच्चिदानंदरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सदां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यते यत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं समस्तदेवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षये सूतमहामुने शौनकादि वैशम्पायनादि अत्र्यादृशिभ्यो प्रह्लादादिभक्तरेभ्यो मत्स्यादि अवतारेभ्यो आदित्यादि नवग्रह देवताभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री दक्षिणामूर्ति दत्तात्रेय हयग्रीवादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री आदिपराशक्तिमात्रे नमः। माता पितृदेवताभ्यो नमः। आद्य शंकराचार्यवर्यादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कन्धः मुक्तिरहित्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः। अथ पंचविंशोऽध्यायः। By God's Guru's grace, we are into the study of Bhagavata Puranam. We took it up as the Parayanam first, then we started seeing the meaning, and slowly we thought we have to study this. That is how, slowly, steadily, we are trying to study each aspect to our own capacity level of this Maha Adbhuta Shastra of Mahapuranam Bhagavatam. As a part of our chanting, let us chant this 25th chapter completely today. Om Shri Bhagavanuvach Gunanam Asamishranam Pumanyena yatha bhavet Tanme Purushavariyedam Upadharaya Shamsataha Shamodamastitiksheksha Tapah Satyandaya Smritihi Tushtisthyago Spruha Shraddha Hrirdayadihi Swanirvrutihi Kama Iha Madastrushna स्तंभ आशीर्भिदा सुखम मदोत्साहो यशः प्रीतिः हास्यं वीर्यं बलोद्यमः क्रोधो लोभोनृतं हिंसा याञ्चा दम्भः क्लमः कलिः शोकमोहो विषादार्ति निद्राशाभीरनुद्यमः सत्त्वस्य रजसश्चैताः तमसश्चानुपूर्वशः वृतयो वर्णितप्रायः प्रायाः सन्निपातमथो शृणु सन्निपातः तु अहमिति ममेत्युद्धवया मतिः व्यवहारः सन्निपातः मनोमात्रेन्द्रियासुभिः धर्मे चार्थे च कामे च यदासौ परिनिष्ठितः गुणानां सन्निकर्षोऽयं श्रद्धारतिधनावहः प्रवृत्तिलक्षणे निष्ठा पुमान्यर्हि गृहाश्रमे स्वधर्मे चानुतिष्ठेत गुणानां समितिर्हि सा पुरुषं सत्त्वसंयुक्तम् अनुमीयात् शमादिभिः कामादिभिः रजो युक्तं क्रोधाद्यैः तमसायुतं यदा भजति मां भक्त्या निरपेक्षः स्वकर्मभिः तं सत्त्वप्रकृतिं विद्यात् पुरुषं स्त्रियमेव वा यदा ह्याशिष आशास्य मां भजेत स्वकर्मभिः तं रजः प्रकृतिं विद्यात् हिंसाम् आशास्य तामसम् सत्वं रजस्तम इति गुणा जीवस्य नैव मे चित्तजायैस्तु भूतानां सज्जमानो निबध्यते यदेतरौ जयेत् सत्वं भास्वरं विशदं शिवं तदा सुखेन युज्येत धर्मज्ञानादिभिः पुमान् यदा जयेत् तमः सत्वं रजः सङ्गं भिदाचलं तदा दुःखेन युज्येत कर्मणा यशसा श्रिया यदा जयेत् रजः सत्वं तमो मूढं लयं जडं युज्येत शोकमोहाभ्यां निद्रया हिंसयाशया यदा चित्तं प्रसीदेत चेन्द्रियाणां च निर्वृतिः देहे अभयं मनो असङ्गं तत्सत्त्वं विद्धि मत्पदं विकुर्वन् क्रिया चाधीः अनिर्वृत्तिश्च चेतसां गात्रा स्वास्थ्यं मनोभ्रान्तं रज एतैर्निशामय सीदच्चित्तं विलीयेत चेतसो ग्रहणे क्षमं मनो नष्टं तमोग्लानिः तमस्तत् उपधारय एधमाने गुणे सत्त्वे देवानां बलमेधते असुराणां च रजसि तमस्युद्धव रक्षसां सत्त्वात् जागरणं विद्यात् रजसा स्वप्नमादिशेत् प्रस्वापं तमसा जन्तोः तुरीयं त्रिषु सन्ततम् उपर्युपरि गच्छन्ते सत्त्वेन ब्राह्मणा जनाः तमसाधोध आमुख्यात् रजसान्तरचारिणः सत्त्वे प्रलीनाः स्वर्यान्ति नरलोकं रजोलयाः तमोलयास्तु निरयं यान्ति मामेव निर्गुणाः मदर्पणं निष्फलं वा सात्विकं निजकर्म ततो राजसं फलसङ्कल्पं हिंसा प्रायादितामसं कैवल्यं सात्विकं ज्ञानं रजो वैकल्पिकं च यतो प्राकृतं तामसं ज्ञानं मन्निष्ठं निर्गुणं स्मृतं वनं तु सात्विको वासः ग्रामो राजस उच्यते तामसन्द्यूतसदनं मन्निकेतं तु निर्गुणं सात्विकः कारको असङ्गी रागान्धो राजसः स्मृतः तामसः स्मृतिविभ्रष्टः निर्गुणो मदपाश्रयः सात्विक्याध्यात्मिकी श्रद्धा कर्मश्रद्धा तु राजसी तामस्य धर्मे या श्रद्धा मत्सेवायां तु निर्गुणा पथ्यं पूतमनायासः तमाहार्य पथ्यं पूतमनायस्तम् आहार्यं सात्विकं स्मृतं राजसं चेन्द्रियप्रेष्ठं तामसं चार्तिदाशुचि सात्विकं सुखमात्मोत्थं विषयोत्थं तु राजसं तामसं मोहदैन्योत्थं निर्गुणं मदपाश्रयं द्रव्यं देशः फलं कालः ज्ञानं कर्म च कारकः श्रद्धावस्था कृतिर्निष्ठा त्रैगुण्यः सर्व एव हि सर्वे गुणमया भावाः पुरुषा व्यक्तधिष्ठिताः दृष्टं श्रुतम् अनुध्यातं बुद्ध्या वा पुरुषर्षभ एताः संश्रुतयः पुंसः गुणकर्मनिबन्धनाः येनेमे निर्जिताः सौम्य गुणा जीवेन चित्तजाः भक्तियोगेन मन्निष्ठः मद्भावाय प्रपद्यते तस्मात् देहमिमं लब्ध्वा ज्ञानविज्ञानसम्भवं गुणसङ्गं विनिर्धूय मां भजन्तु विचक्षणाः निस्सङ्गो मां भजेत् विद्वान् अप्रमत्तो जितेन्द्रियः रजस्तमश्चाभिजयेतु सत्त्वसंसेवया मुनिः सत्त्वं चाभिजयेत् युक्तः नैरपेक्षेण शान्तधीः सम्पद्यते गुणैर्मुक्तः जीवो जीवं विहाय माम जीवो जीवविनिर्मुक्तः गुणैश्चाशयसम्भवैः मयैव ब्रह्मणा पूर्णः न बहिर्नान्तरश्चरेद इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे पञ्चविंशोऽध्यायः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। these 10 minutes which we are spending morning for Upanishad chanting, then 5 minutes for Vishnu Sahasranam Parayanam, then little chanting of our Vedanta Dindima, and here Bhagavata and Ramayana. It goes a long way, this regular practice of the chanting, in making us tuned to our most dear, most beloved Shastras. We should never neglect or underestimate it. And that is why, even in Taittiriya Upanishad, we have seen how the Rishi, thinking that we are doing meditation and all, there is a chance for us to give up the Grantha Pata. To avoid that giving up Granthapata and to involve in the Granthapata, he has encouraged to such an extent that every aspect of the grammar and chanting and reading and writing of the Bhasha is taught so that the Nirantara Patha of the Veda mantras or our Purana Asa mantras go on. Meditate and realize God. If not, contemplate and try to enter into meditation. If not, reflect and enter into contemplative mood. If not, study the Shastras independently. If not, be in the class. If that can't be done, the only next thing is what? Doing the Nirantara chanting of all our mantras of the Purana Itihasa, Shruti, Smriti, Ityadi. The lower than that are the puja, the japa, etc. Because in the chanting onwards all sadhanas, we are involved ourselves directly with the Shastras which are revealing our own nature to us. Therefore, those sadhanas always take the higher position, top position. So never ever give up that chanting. That's how every day, even though it is little strenuous, it is tiring, exhausting, still we are doing it. ॐ श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीभागवत शरणं मम श्रीसद्गुरुशरणं मम श्रीसूत शरणं मम श्रीशुकदेव शरणं मम श्रीव्यास शरणं मम श्रीनारद शरणं मम श्रीकुमार शरणं मम श्रीब्रह्मा शरणं मम श्रीविष्णु शरणं मम श्री परब्रह्म शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम शरणं मम शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्त्यं रसः अतः पिबन्तु सद्भाग्याहमामुञ्जतकरे चिदा ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादशस्कन्धः मुक्तिरित्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः पञ्चविंशोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच हरि ओम् having saluted all our gurus, Bhagavan, ardently seeking from them the blessings in the form of our Shraddha, Bhakti, and abilities to study, understand, digest, practice Shastras to reach to our Atma Divya Anubhuti. In this 25th chapter, which is so beautiful and complete, in the topic of exhaustively explaining the effect influence of all the three gunas of the Prakriti. So important it is. Basing on this, one can have clear understanding about what sadhana has to be done, and substantially he can do sadhana, and he can see the change in himself when the sadhana is done, the result. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, we have seen yesterday, Hi gunanam asamishranam puman yena yatha bhavet. So when the gunas are exclusive, not admixed with each other. Point 1, 2. When these admixtured gunas, which guna when a purusha possesses, what are the lakshanas he has got? So if a person without the admixture of tamo and rajo gunas, completely fully in shuddha sattva guna exclusively, what are his natural lakshanas, natural tendencies? So too, when only rajas is there, not sattva and tamas exclusively, predominantly. Not that absolutely they are absent, but they are very, very less. How naturally that person behaves. And then, when the rajas sattva are not at all given value importance, predominantly maximum when a person is tamoguni, how his gunas express. When that particular guna is there in that person, what are the characteristics, what are the traits, what are the lakshanas, what are the ways of life or thinking in that person. Tat me purushavarya idam upadharaya shamsataha. I am exhaustively going to tell you, you also do the upadharanam of it. Means with closeness to the subject and to me who is speaking, you listen to it and take it to very close into your heart, as if it is so important, because it is so important. Having said this, in the first shloka, that is shloka number 2, Bhagavan has given the 15 natural gunas or lakshanas of a person in whom the predominance is of sattva guna. Conversely, when these gunas exclusively are practiced, that person comes into sattva guna. With that sattva guna, see, he will be more available for the Guru and the Lord for teaching, for guiding, for blessing, for the higher evolutionary sadhanas of Adhyatmikata. Thus, he gets liberated from all the bondages of ignorance, and ignorance created subsequent imaginations and doings and getting birth and death. From all that bondage, one can be liberated through the jnanam. Jnanam and bhakti, which give liberation, are available or will be understood and practiced by a person who has Suddha Sattva Guna. And the Sattva Guna, Vyakti's Gunas or Lakshanas are these. So, yesterday we have seen almost the 2 gunas very exhaustively. We spent sufficient time for that. Now we continue. First of all, enumerate what are those gunas. As Bhagavan told to Uddhava, we can imagine Bhagavan is telling us also that upadharaya. Let these gunas be heard and felt very close to us. The name of the gunas, the description of the gunas, then the need of practicing those gunas and becoming naturally in those gunas. Making those gunas naturally one with us. Chant the mantra Shamodamastitiksheksha Tapaha Satyandaya Smritihi Tuštistyago Spruha Shraddha Hrir Dayadihi Swanirvrutihi. These are the 15 qualities of Sattva Guna. 15, Daya Adi, 16, etc. You can say. So, first was the Shama, how beautifully we discussed yesterday, as the Shama, the Mano Nigraha. Then the Dhamma we have studied so thoroughly, that Indriyanam Nigraha. If these two are naturally not happening, one person's entire personality will be endowed only with the temptation that the senses are feeling from the world and the desires or imaginations that the mind is making. His entire life without Shamadama is fully worldly, 100%. Therefore, what is Shama, what is Dhamma, we have fully thoroughly understood. We have explained, demonstrated also as to how we have to become aware of the mana and its vrittis every moment and putting that completely in our control. Yesterday we explained the difference between the control, the suppression, the what do you say, the management as well as the mastery. So control, manage, master, and transcend. These were the 4 words yesterday we were using regarding the Shamadama. Shama, with our effort toward the mind for its complete control, is called as Shama. What is a controlled mind? All the time you are aware of the vrittis of mana, and all the time only those vrittis are coming which you are choosing. Not even one thought is coming which is unplanned or undecided by you. If it happens, that is uncontrolled mind, like a controlled servant. He will not do what he only wants, and he will do only what you say, and he will never do if you don't say. That type of thoughts are the mana. So too with the indriyas, the second one, all the five we have seen yesterday, when the dhamma indriya nigra is there, none, even you are in the din and roar of the marketplace, still you are able to do only that particular indriya kalapa which you have chosen. The test for the dhamma is the very busy marketplace or a heavy crowded the railway station, etc., where especially the ears and the eyes are so much distracted, disturbed by so many sounds and forms. In and through all that, if one is able to focus his indriyas in the chosen work, then he has achieved dhamma. The Shamadama was mastered by the Dronacharya. Many people, it was demonstrated in that Yuddha. When Bhagavan Krishna made Yudhishthira say, Ashwathama hataha kunjaraha, he likes his son so much attachment. And that the son dead, the moment he heard it, from the din and roar of the sound of the Yuddha, where the elephants are hitting each other, the horses are hitting each other, they are making heavy sounds, and chariots are clashing, sounds of mazes or the arrows, whatever the equipments. More than all that, the sounds of the 18 lakhs of Shainyam, Kato, Maro, Pito. You can't do the Yuddham in a mute. युद्ध में तो भयंकर शब्द होता है. He just closed eyes at that very moment, entered to samadhi. In a moment's notice. Then he was killed that way by that of Pradyumna and all that. Dronacharya. That in a moment's notice, Shamadama. Bhagavan Krishna too. He was so in his own senses and mind, he was negotiating the chariot of Arjuna to get protected from all the arrows shot by the Bhayankara Kaurava Sainyam. That is the greatest. And his attachment to the son, for two reasons. One, he was so much attached, and he has forgotten that his son is undying. Ashwatthama is one of the Chiranjeevi. Even now he is there. For all the papa done, he is said to be in Himalayas with some leprosy disease, something, wanting it to get rid when this yuga ends. Like that, some shapa is given to him. Kuch aisa hai. Ashwatthama with some disease, exactly, I don't know. But out of 7 Chiranjeevis, his name only comes first. Ashwatthama, Balihi, Vyasa, Hanuman, Vibhishana, Krupa, Parashurama, Saptaite, Chiranjeevina. But why, even though he knows son is not killable, yet he got that? Because Yudhishthira spoke. Why Yudhishthira? He never speaks asatyam. And did Yudhishthira speak asatyam? No, he speaks satyam only, because Krishna made Bhima kill a elephant by name Ashwathama. एक हाथी का भी नाम था. एक गधा मारा, भीम ने मरा. So then Krishna showed, how can I speak jhoot? That's what Yudhishthira said. Okay, ठीक है, देखो. Then Bhima is made to kill that hathi, one blow. Then that name of the hathi is Ashwathama. No, say Ashwathama hataha kunjara. Kunjara means elephant. A elephant by named Ashwathama is killed. An elephant by named is very lowly uttered, and Kunjara is uttered, Ashwathama is uttered loudly. So though he spoke truth, but the intention was to distract Dronacharya by a tentative jhoot. He was sent to Naraka for some time. That is said about Drona and all. This is big stories and all that. Huge Mahabharatam when we are going to study. For 2 years, we'll take Mahabharata. Every day, 6 classes or 5 classes. Subha, Dopar, Sham, or 3. Then we will be able to do it. If anybody is interested, we will spend 1 or 2 years after some of these Shastras are over. When the Upanishad Parampara is over, then one more Purana and one more Adhyatma Ramayana is over. Shiva Purana, Adhyatma Ramayana, maybe Gita Bhashyam, Patanjali Yoga Sutra. When these are over, we can take up. We can see in that. So the idea is Shamadama. Clear? Shama, Mano Nigraha. Damaha, Chakshuradi Bahyendriya Nigraha. And a beautiful definition Bhagavan Shankara gives in Viveka Chudamani for both Shamadama. Shama is Virajya Vishaya Vratat Dosha Drushtya Muhur Muhu Swalakshe Niyatavastha Manasaha Shama Uchyate. So, Vishayavratat, from the thieves of the Vishayas, dosha drushtya, by the drushti of blemishness on them, shortcomingness in them, Vishayavrase, Virajya, having withdrawn, means withdrawing from the Vishayas by finding the shortcomings and faults in them again and again. When we focus our mind onto the chosen goal, Swalakshe Niyatavastha. And in the Adhyatmika Marga, the Swalaksha is the Antara Atma only, the pure self. That effort is practice of Shama, and that achievement is the achievement of Shama. Virajya Vishayavrata Dosha Dushtya Muhurmuhu Swalakshe Niyatavastha Manasa Shama Uchate. If one is serious, sincere, comment quite, na, this definition of the Shama inspire us about clear understanding as to what is a sadhana to be done at the mind level, how to do. See, many a times we don't do sadhana because we don't know, or we do sadhana without knowing completely. Therefore, our sadhanas mechanically happen, or they happen irregularly, or they happen imperfectly. Therefore, we don't enjoy the doing, we don't enjoy the result. So, first to know what is Shama. Mind is, Shama actually is Swalakshe Niyatavastha Manasaha Shama. Putting the mind in your chosen goal. Like anything it is. You want to look at the form of the Lord. Without disturbance for any number of hours, you should be able to see. That is called Shama. How do we do that? Pulling the mind from all distractions. Why? How to do that? By finding dosha drishti. What is dosha drishti? When I have chosen to see the form of the Lord or feet of my Guru, all else is distraction. That thinking is called dosha drishti. Because I have chosen to see the Guru Pada, not anything. In this way, again and again, the mind is virajya, pulled from there and put at the feet of the Guru. You keep on doing. अब कब होगा ये इसका कोई ठिकाना नहीं. जब तक होगा उस पे आपको टिक कर करते ही रहना है. That is why the japa, upasana, all of them are only to achieve one. Parohi yoga manasa samadhi. Already in the Bhikshu Gitam we have seen exhaustively. And he said, Dhanam, Damaha, all these sadhanas are only to bring the mind into our own control called as Shama. Clear? Then what is Damaha? Damaha says, Vishayebhya paravartya sthapanam swasvagolake uvesham indriyanam sadamaha parikirtitaha. These are all definition Vivek Chudamani. In Telugu, we will see in 15 days' time when they are uploaded. So, Uvayasham Indriyanam, all the 10 Indriyas of Jnana 5, Karma 5, when they are kept in their own Golaka, by our own choice, not allowing them to run, into different, their own fields of objects, that's called Dhamma. Vishayebhya paravartya sthapanam swasvagolaki. Damaha. So, like the ears, not allowed to go any sound, not allowing any sound to be received. Only at the ear level, the ear audition, listening capacity is there, not listening anything. That sadhana can be done and achieved. So, to the eyes are in its own golakas, not interested in the vishayas of the forms of the world. And a Viveka Vairagi, he knows. These Rupa, when I look at or these Indriya Vishayas, When I perceive them through Indriya, they create such a disturbance in my mind. Therefore, I don't want to see these Vishayas. Each yogi or each sadhaka, having trained by his guru or studying various shastra, gets inspired to do his sadhana in one way or the other. So some of them feel like this. Some of them, there's one great saint. When he did Upasana Anushtana, Bhagavan appeared. Then he had darshan of Bhagavan. Wonderful, oh divine. Bhagavan asked, what do you want a boon? He said, do one thing, remove my both eyes. What this boon you are asking? Yeah, he said, the eyes with which I have seen you, I don't want to see the world which is Jada, which is other than you. Therefore, remove my eyes. No, that was his attitude. You can't find there are millions of sadhakas. In one way or the other, they did their shamadama. Achieving shamadama is goal. In how many ways you can do, you do it. But the definition of shamadama is given us to us by Bhagavan Shankar. How to do, you choose. But you do it without mistakes, without failure. Is it not? So, swalakshe niyatavastha manasamuchyate, then sthapanam swasya ubesham indriyanam damaha parikirtita. All 10 indriyas are kept in their own golakas, not allowed to wander. That is called dhamma. Oh, that is Maha Yoga Sthiti. You have to achieve it. It may take 5 lives, 10 lives. It doesn't matter. But then when the faculties are in control, we are master of our own life. Dhamma. And in general, in Vyavahara also, a Shamadama Yukta Vyakti is such a decent guy. He doesn't go out of his control in his behavior, then he will not create a nuisance to the world around. Shamadama Yukta. And we saw yesterday, without Shamadama, none of the Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, any of the sadhanas, none of them are possible. And you can see in our own life how many of the Upanishads we are studying, how much of the Brahma Tattva Vishayas we are listening. Yet, we can't even have the desire also for meditation, convenience for meditation, commitment for meditation. Even if we decide to sit for, where is our mind at that time? Now listen very carefully, next sentence. This will continue like this as many lives as it is till we don't understand the value importance of controlling the mind shama, controlling the indriyas dhamma, and practice and achieve it. You will be given all Vedanta Jnana, all definitions. We will be given all the definitions about the bhakti, intellectual knowledge. When you study these books or listen from somebody 10, 20 times, any stupid, lazy, any fellow can understand them. Utna capacity to almost every human being has. But yet he cannot be even 1 ounce or meter ahead also in his practicality and experience, because if Shamadama are not achieved. On the other hand, when the Shamadama are achieved, it is so easy for the teacher to give the Tattva Jnana Upadesh or the Upadesha for Upasana. Like tomorrow, day after, we are going to see the Guru's Upadesha for Upasana to the disciples after thoroughly studying the grammar and its rules. After Upadesha, Upasana and practice, only he will teach them Brahma Vidya. Panchaswadikaraneshu adilokam jyotisham adividyam adiprajamadhyatmam. All these are called upasanas only. The children, when they are trained in a shamadama or anybody, they only can be given any diksha. And it becomes fruitful. So find the importance in our own heart about the control of mind and senses. In life, if at all anything most important to do achieve is these two. Mana, Indriya, Nigraha. Okay? Shamaha, Damaha. Then Titiksha is the third natural guna of the person who is exclusively in Sattva Guna mood. The one who is by nature Sattva Guni has got these Lakshanas or Gunas. See, when I am using word Guna, for what meaning I am using, you must be clear. Like when I say, when a person is predominantly sattva guni, means I am talking about sattva guna of the three gunas. He will have these gunas, means here are the qualities, the nature of his inner antakarana. So be careful about, don't get mixed up. I am very clear while saying so. So a person when he has exclusively asamishriya rupena only sattva guna, he has shama, full mastery on the mana, he has got dhamma, full mastery on the 10 indriyas. Now see, when we listen this again and again, it appears to be boring and heavy and repeated. This is a maya. Without doing and achieving, we get satisfied that we understood. That is the power of maya. And after saying that कि इतने बार हमने सुना समझ गए, are we practicing? That's a big question. Okay. Then there is another subject which I'm not touching it. It will take time. That they are complementary to each other. The control of the senses facilitates the control of mind. The shama facilitates the dhamma. In other words, also, if the mind is uncontrolled, unruly, your control of senses will not last for long. So too, the senses are controlled under suppression, but the mind is not controlled. That suppression bridge or dam gets broken and creates a big flood also of those emotions which were suppressed by not expressing because the indriyas are controlled. Therefore, complementing each other. दम से शम से दोनों को हमें जीतना है. बहुत बढ़िया. But once one enters into it, the understanding of it, conviction of it, and starting to practice it, मजा आएगा फिर उसके लिए थोड़ा एक आध बातें जरूरत है जो ऑलरेडी 1000 बार कह चुके हैं कि the emotions or the thoughts of the mind as well as the objects of the senses, they are only mithya maya moha made. If we value them, they only bind us. If this clarity is there, then there will be more likelihood of our liking to do the sadhanas of shamadam. If we still have the value as reality to the worldly, thus indriyas and mind's emotions, and want to indulge in them, then our shamadama is only imagination. This is to be known. Otherwise, क्या हुआ? For 1 month we do the dhamma without devaluing the worldly shabda sparsha rasagandha. After that 1 month, again all of them will come. Then this 1 month's effort is after it gone. That is all the vratadharis of 40 days, 60 days. That 1 month, 40 days, they are full of dhamma. ये नहीं खाना चाहिए, वो नहीं पीना चाहिए, ये नीचे लेटना चाहिए, ये वगैरह टीवी नहीं देखना, आंख से कुछ काम. And in that 1 month, 40 days, you can see the great divinity also in that virtues. Because Shamadama ke saath, they are doing the variety of upasanas. The Shivanama Diksha, the Govinda Diksha, the Mata Rani Diksha, the Jagaratha Diksha, the different Dikshas are there in India mein. And the Ayyappa Diksha, all of them, so many. Those 40 days, you can't touch them. That much great they are. But only 40 days. After that, again they walked. Because they have not understood the ultimate goal of Paramatma to be reached through them. And they have not devalued the world. Therefore, again it comes. Temporary. What they do? मैं व्रत में हूँ इसलिए मैं इन चीज़ों को छोड़ रहा हूँ. This is what is the other definition they have. It should be other way around. ये चीज बंधन में डालते मुझे, उसको छोड़ना है इसलिए मैं व्रत कर रहा हूँ. This is permanent. The earlier will always temporary. Focus is on vrata, not the purpose. When the purpose is on, and then the focus on the purpose, then the vrata becomes permanent. Clear? Now the third one is titiksha. This titiksha, the two definitions, one from Gita, one from again Vivek Chudamani, are complete enough, sufficient enough to keep in mind. गीता में कहते हैं मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदाः आगमापायिनो अनित्याः तान् तितिक्षस्व भारत. Arjuna, all these Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha, as long as we have the Dehendriya Mana, they will keep on coming and going. If you pay attention to them, they become valuable. Then you can never pay attention on the sadhana of a Shravana Mana Nididhyasana or Upasana, whatever you have chosen. Never tan titikshasva. आने दो जाने दो ज़्यादा value importance reaction मत देना. To the extent you have to protect yourself, that much respond. But don't react positively by attachment when the good things are coming. Don't react negatively when the bad things are in front. All the experience of pairs of opposites. तो गर्मी एक्सट्रीम गर्मी अपने को बचाने के लिए तो पंखा लगा. Don't make a hangama. I can't live without AC and all that. Then your whole life will be only AC ki AC. You can't do any other sadhana. दिस इज व्हाट द अर्जुना को भगवान कहते हैं. उसके लिए ना मैं कुछ कर सकता हूँ ना तुम कर सकते हो. फिर सिर्फ तितिक्षा मीन्स यू हैव टू हैव द पेशेंस एंड परसिवरेंस. Then what is the definition of titiksha? Completely given by Shankara Bhagavan in again Chudamani, and we spoke it in different texts or context when we came across this sadhana, and that was one. तितिक्षा सहनं सर्वदुःखानां अप्रतीकारपूर्वकं चिन्ताविलापरहितं सा तितिक्षा निगद्यते. This is the titiksha's complete definition, and this is spiritual titiksha apakka. Worldly titiksha is to avoid some problem, and spiritual titiksha is to avoid world only because the world only problem there. One by one, I'll just mention it. It will be very joyful, even to listen. First, what are the 3-4 points that are involved in the achievement of sadhana called titiksha? First one, sahanam. Sahanam, forbearing. Second is sarva dukkhanam sahanam. All dukkha. All dukkha, adi bhautika, adi devika, adhyatmika. These are only 3 dukkhas we get. Adi adhyatmika dukkhas are which are given to me by my own dehendriya manobuddhi. Adi bhautika dukkhas are the given things given by all the people, relations, animals, etc. around us. Adi daivika dukkhas are the natural calamities of these earthquakes or the cyclones or the thunders or the storms or heavy pouring of the rains. These are all adhik daivika dukkha. These are the 3 only the dukkha sources that are there. Okay, so sarva dukkhanam sahanam. Okay, sahanam sarva dukkhanam. Second, third point, apratikara purvakam. With the clarity that I am not going to take pratikara for them, reaction. Clear? By that, my stamina of withstanding to all the dukkhas grows. That is what is to be achieved. The pratikara toward the people, if they inflict dukkha to is, when again the chant comes, chants, I will also do same thing to them. This sort of thing. The pratikara to the dukkha coming from Shita, Ushna, ityadi are struggling to protect from them by various these gross things. Sardiya hai, so too many sweaters and heaters, they are called pratikara there. Garmiya hai, so too many of ACs and fans, this is called a pratikara for this dukkha. In that, human beings are not involved, natural, but we are doing this type of pratikara. Then we explained to you one day my experience when I was in the North India in the beginning. याद है आपको? When I was in that classes, morning 7 without sweater and all, in the peak winters of December end and Jan first week, all these Mata log, they felt so sympathy towards me. It was I was in South India somewhere, but North में. They said, Swamiji, ऐसा कैसे आप रहेंगे? We will make a sweater and give you. And when they gave a half sweater, this portion was good, but the hands were appearing cold. Till that first half sweater was felt, nothing was the cold was that much troubling. Because that time the inspiration to conduct classes, it was so wonderful. But everything throughout life we are living only because of that, given by Gurudev, of course. So it was not felt. We felt cold when the half sweater is given to the hands. Then That mother observed, then she gave full sweater. Then again, the hands were good, but what about the fingers? Then the gloves were given. But ये सब ठीक था, फिर नीचे पाँव में ठंड लग रही थी. Then the socks we wore, everything was good. Then the throat started feeling cold. Then a muffler is kept. अब उसके बाद the entire head was paining. Then the monkey cap. With the monkey cap, चिंता तो होना है ना. The eyes are open, the nose, even that was feeling cold. See that when you do the pratikara, we become slaves. Then one day I felt throw all of them, removed and threw. 3 4 days it was so cold, but later on it was good. That's how all those sweaters they give, even though they're all there, they can take back. Some of them given here and there. I will just give one example. It's not a taking risk and torturing the body. ऐसा मत करो. But the definition goes like this. अप्रतिकार पूर्वक. And with human beings, अब मैं कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, जब मौका आएगा मैं दिखाता हूँ. Never. That is called without pratikara. Clear? First word, sahanam. Second, sahanam sarva dukkhanam. Sahanam is sahana in Hindi. Sarva dukkhanam is all. Because titiksha is all the time. If you say 98, I really withstood, 2, I could not do, then that is enough to remove that beautiful quality of titiksha. It goes away. Therefore, sarva, it is said. Apratikara purvakam, we explained. Then the next 2 words are very important. Chinta rahitam. Chinta rahitam is the worry, anxiety about whether it will be repeated, or that people take me for granted, or something will happen to me. This type of chinta rahita. This is one of the very important subtle quality, which is very difficult to explain, even to catch. Most of the time, we don't do sadhana because the chinta about the future है, क्या होगा मेरा नहीं पता, इसलिए मैं नहीं करूँगा. What helps us at that time is faith in the Shastra and Bhagavan and Guru. And that also, from these standpoints, these definitions are the words that when you are doing good, you are going to get good only. The 6th chapter, the answer to Lord's answer to Arjuna's question is very essential. He says, Nahi kalyanakrit kaschita durgatim tata kachati. Ye tata kalyanakrit kaschit durgati, kaschit kalyanakrit api durgatim nahi gachati. Hina very gach. He will never have failure or suffering or going to a wrong place. The one who is doing kalyana or sadhana. जो अच्छा काम कर रहा है वो दुर्गति में कभी नहीं जाएगा. दिस सेंटेंस शुड बी द भरोसा फॉर अस टू डू ऑल द नोबल एक्टिविटीज विदाउट चिंता. दिस इज द डेफिनेशन जनरली आई एम गिविंग यू फॉर द चिंता राहित्य डेफिनेशन एंड साधना. Here in the explanation of the sadhana of the titiksha, here chinta rahita means that worry about it. Okay, then the 5th one is interesting. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apradikara purvakam chintarahitam. 5th is important, vilapa rahitam. What vilapa is? Arey yaar, why didn't I react? Why didn't I fight? I had all the abilities, I had all the capacities. I should have shown him what I am. That type of later on regretting होता है ना, वो छोड़ना चाहिए. Now, I explained each one exclusively. Now, put together feel, then you will understand what is the expected sadhana when the word is titiksha. When the sadhana is titiksha. तो हिंदी में एक फ्लो में बताया था, सारे दुखों को ऐसे झेलना कि उसमें प्रतिकार लेने की इच्छा ना हो और चिंता ना करें और विलाप भी ना करें. Not crying or feeling disappointed for not reacting, not worrying about the consequence, and not thinking about retaliation anytime, and also for bearing all the dukkha. Satitiksha nigadhyate. Now, as we told you, in the Adhyatmika sadhana or even the sadhana of the dharma and values, temptations also come to distract us. More than that, these troubles also come to distract us. And if you start giving value to them, they start becoming valuable. Our attention goes towards them only. Is it not? It is like such a jadoo of like I am a Hindu. No, I have to do my sadhana as a Haindava Dharmi, Sanatana Dharmi. Now, to protect my Sanatana Dharma, I should do the Shastra Adhyanam and do sadhana and teach this to people. That's all. But by mistake, in me, a little, any type of ill feeling towards any other religion comes. No, it is such a funny Maya that slowly takes position in my heart that I start hating them more than loving my own sadhana or my dharma. ये देखो माया इसकी बात ऐसा काम करता है. Then by the end of my life, I forget doing all my sadhana for the Hindu dharma. I only think about the other fellow, and next life I will be born there with same fanatism. Remember, this is a very jadoo maya. It is very, very dangerous if you don't understand it. That we told in Bhagavatam, remember? Every man of this life, as the women last life, every woman is a man. Because of the extreme attraction and thought of that particular other way, they get this body. Same way this one. Therefore, we have to guard ourselves. मैं तो कहता हूँ अपने धर्म का इतना साधना करो कि दूसरों के बारे में सोचने का टाइम भी ना हो. That is the highest maturity. Example, in the same way, if these things are not done, little of the temptation or distraction come. When you give importance to them, then they go on pulling. Like you are doing japa. Some sound came in the kitchen. Some vessel niche gira, kuch ho gaya. Now, if you are not valuing japa and little importance you give, then so much of reaction comes in the mind while doing japa कि मैं इतना मेहनत करके सब कमा के लाता हूँ, ये लोग तोड़ फोड़ करते हैं. Gone when you have valued that. Then you know what is the next trick happens? When the sound of the glass is gone, when your mind also started doing japa, after 10 minutes, the mind again goes through the ears. और कुछ तो नहीं गिर रहा है. These are very subtle things that happen. And और कुछ तो नहीं गिर रहा है, the attention of the ear is a distraction in your japa sadhana. You are lost there. Why? Because there was something called a chinta or vilapa or pratikar. होने दो मेरा मेडिटेशन और जपा, मैं उनका हाथ पैर तोड़ूंगा जिसने वो गिराया कुछ ना कुछ. If not that reaction, at least want to know what it is, why it has happened. Actually, titiksha should be in such a way, entire bhugola is getting broken, still we are doing our own japa or whatever sadhana. That's called titiksha. That is what was tested in the past when the people used to do tapasya. The Indra used to give all the rains and he used to send all music and drama and dance party. They're all distraction for the senses only mind, is it not? But that great bhaktas, whoever they were, they did not get imbalanced or disturbed by them. Then वो लोग थक कर चले आते थे. All Indra and Madan Kumar and party, they are called. Then Indra sending this Kamadeva and all. Then they get repeated and they go. Then Bhagavan comes and gives. Hey Bhakta, मैं खुश हो गया हूँ तुम्हारे तपशक्ति से. The two tapasyas were, he was trying to control his mind and senses. That was Shamadama. And the second tapasya was, when he was tempted for distraction of the mind and senses, he was in Titiksha. Therefore, Bhagavan appeared. Then this Ravanadi, inside out हो गया उनका तो. When they did tapasya, even Hiranyakashipu and all, he Valmiki or Rishi, oh Bhapre. We have to be sensible, but too sensitiveness, it will make us so reacting to this world. So the titiksha sadhana. Clear? Otherwise, what will happen? Well, the objects of the senses or the mind, they become so valuable that for little disturbance also distract us. We cannot do our adhyatmika sadhanas of any time. This is the particular adhyatmika sadhana related explanation. Generally, a Shuddha Sattva Guni has a titiksha of non-reacting just like that for any happening. Then he just looks into the entire issue and sees what are the mistakes or how can it be rectified. That is Sattva Guni. That can be anything. Somebody insulted me. Okay, let me see the reason. There are only two reasons. One, I am at fault. Second, he is in not understanding me. So if I'm at fault, let me rectify myself. He's not understanding me directly or indirectly. Let me try to make him understand. If understood, good. If not, good. But I'm not losing my apa. Means I'm not losing the balance of the mind. Apa is going, but balance is not going. That's called a titiksha. Otherwise, क्या होता है ना? The world can never stop inflicting some temptations or some distractions to anyone as long as we are in deha. No devatas were spared, no rishi muni are spared. Nobody. The prakriti will go on troubling, disturbing, tempting you. Then the only is titiksha. So feel the importance of titiksha, especially at home. The more you become titiksha yukta. And titiksha may be pehle suppression, then sublimation. Suppression forcefully. Then with understanding, sublimate it. Then slowly grow in that. In many houses of wives, it's too much of nonsense husband does. They develop a titiksha. I say, okay, okay, no, they don't even bother him. They are safe, but that fellow is continuously frustrated. He's more frustrated now that she's not reacting and all. Titiksha, okay? And with titiksha, when the kshama guna also is added, oh, you have become a great saint. Yeah? So, shamo damas titiksha. Fourth one is the iksha. The Shuddha Sattva Gunas, fourth Lakshana is called Iksha. Iksha means all the time aware about your own vision of life, which is greater than the aim or goal, etc. The vision of the life, when one is always maintaining, then he is called in always in this Shuddha Sattva Guna. Hmm. And with that vision remembered in the mind is always a high level of discrimination. Iksha means ability to become alert to discriminate whether he is keeping up his vision intact or not. Non-forgetful not of the vision is called Iksha. Iksha means drushti. Is it not? Sattva-guni will have always the drushti Iksha and also viveka. समीक्षा करना मतलब विवेक करना है. हम इस बार पार्टी में हार गए, समीक्षा करते, सम्यक इच्छा, सब मिलकर, each one gives their reasons. So they're doing a vivek there. Ki, we have not spent money, not spent proper publicity, we didn't, our canvassing people are not powerful enough, or our agenda or all this is not perfectly conveyed to them, or our achievements we could not show to the public. Today Modi came, he was trying to inspire. But today, first time I felt Modi in a low mood. He was in Hyderabad today for 4 hours. Because the absolute terrible opposition of this government. Not even one cared to receive him. And Chief Minister to aur kahin gaye. Janbujhkar. So that was very unhealthy, unholy atmosphere felt. Because when a head of the country is coming, all other differences are in different platform. To that post you have to respect in the interest of the nation and the people. अब पावर क्या है, एक दिन आएगा एक दिन जाता है. देश हमेशा, वैल्यूज हमेशा होते. Then when you are seeking to become prime minister, then you are expecting this only from others. If you become that, others will do same thing to you. That was felt. And in his lecture also, he was trying to communicate, was doing his best. Very good try कर रहे थे. So he was putting up all these points, etc. Anyway, Iksha. Iksha is vision always kept intact as well as always in that mood of Viveka. Without Viveka is not deciding. And Viveka of the highest order. Especially backed by Shastra Jnana. Our parameters are Shastra only, no? On the strength of Shastra Jnana only we discriminate and decide which is good or bad, right or wrong, etc. So, Shamo, Damaha, Titiksha, Iksha. Then comes the fifth one, Tapaha. Tapaha. Tapa has got so many definitions, explanations. One of the tapa is actually the first three things themselves is called tapasya. Manasasya indriyanam aikagryam paramam tapaha. I will tell you 5-6 things. First I told now. मन इंद्रियों का एकाग्र बनाना ही परम तप है. Second tapa definition given in Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi in different textbooks is the transcendence of the ego is called as paramatapa, either by surrender it or by becoming weak, sakshi to it. Aham apetakam nija vibhanakam mahadidantapo ramanavagyam. The last sloka in Upadesha Saram. Aham apetakam, where the small ego is dissolved in the vision of the higher self. That effort is called Mahat Tapasya. Because that Mahat Tapasya of dissolving small ego and recognizing the real self is a permanent solution from all bondages, all problems. Is it not? It's a liberation. Therefore, it's Mahat Tapa. And all other tapasyas are not Mahan because those tapasyas end in giving the results. And those results also are endful. Clear? This is a second definition of tapaha. Then the third definition is what? All that type of words, thoughts, actions by which we are rising above and not falling is called tapasya. So the tapa, when you reverse, it's called pata. So the patana se bachane wale sare जीवन शैली tapa hai. Tapasya. And that's consistently has to be done. Like that, sports persons, they are in good form. Coming to good form is a great tapasya. And they did some good work. But form is not permanent, no? They say, what I say, form is permanent and this thing is not permanent. A style is permanent, style is not, something they say. Anyway, they have to maintain that form. That is more tapasya. Class is permanent, form is not permanent. Some word they use. Otherwise, slowly, if they don't maintain that form, then they'll slowly go away from that team. Anywhere. That is called tapasya. And there are definitely some reasons. Some avoidable, some unavoidable. When the age is growing, the agility is going, you can't reverse it. Then you have to declare retirement. And do other things in the same sports as they do. Interesting. But some reversible things, the form is going because of some distractions, some indulgences, some quarrels within the team or anyone. उसको आप पैच अप कर सकते हो. That effort of not falling is called tapasya. Is it not? Effort is required to come to a level, but to maintain it is a bigger effort is required. So the struggle of BJP government now to win in the next allocation, because every region has its own regional party and they are meeting together. हाँ, इंडिया में जब पावर मॉन्गरिंग मनी मॉन्गरिंग है, देश का कौन देखेगा? We don't see person or anything. We want power, that's it. If that type of thing is there, any greatest person also will fall one day. That's how it is. But we'll have to do tapasya to maintain. Okay? 3 definitions of tapasya. Fourth, simple definition. Simple definition is what? The nature of working hard is tapasya. Naturally working hard is tapasya. Opposite of it is naturally lazy. That is tapasya. He will not spare his efforts. He will not leave any stone unturned. He knows that every achievement needs extra efforts. He has made it is as nature and he does it. Like Gurudev. It is not easy to travel to the entire world, consistently speak on Shastras and keep their inspiration. To keep their inspiration, first of all, he should be inspired from within, no? How much time it will take to lose inspiration? 1 minute. मेरे को लगा मानो अबे 6 क्लास में थक जा रहा हूँ, लोग सुन नहीं रहे, they are not giving response. Enough for me, I can stop tomorrow. And nobody will ask you. Like when 3 days I stopped sending messages to you, not even one of you asked, Swamiji, आप message नहीं भेज रहे. You don't even, very interesting. Then I understood that you are neither reading them nor forwarding them. Otherwise, if you value them, you would ask me, no, why Swamiji didn't send? कौन से वो 3 दिन भी याद नहीं आपको? I'll tell you the dates also, 17, 18, 19 May. Then Lord told me, it's your work, don't expect result. Somewhere it will work. Keep doing. So again I restarted from 21. How much time it will take to get demoralized? 1 minute. But see Gurudev, from inside, always getting inspired, then inspiring the people continuously. His hard-working nature made him conquer sleep, conquer other temptations or distractions. Nothing else was it. That is the tapasya. And see the result of it. Millions and millions, not only seekers, thousands of acharyas, management experts came out of his teachings only. In today's India, out of 100, at least 40% of the management gurus and spiritual gurus are directly or indirectly inspired by Puja Gurudev only. Some of them claim, says, yes, many of them don't do, that is their personal ego. By reading his books, by literally studying, attending to his classes, off. That's tapasya. Teen okay definitions. Natural, this you have to teach to your children. Never give them anything free. Then they become so lazy buffalo. You become a huge burden to the world. खा खा के इतने मोटे हैं कि मरने के बाद भी इतना बोझ होता है कि उठाने के लिए 4 नहीं 8 बंदे की जरूरत होती है. That's the worst living and worst dying. Tapasya. Then the very many things are there. I'm just putting all on one place. In Bhagavad Gita, we are told 6 types of tapasyas. 1, kaya tapasya. 2, vachika tapasya. 3, mano tapasya. And then all these 3, sattvika, rajasika, and tamasika. That chapter 17 is so beautiful of these shlokas. The Sharira tapasya is called as Deva Dvija Guru Pragnya Pujanam Shaucham Arjavam Brahmacharya Mahimsa Cha Shariran Tapa Uchyate. Again, I'm tempted to explain, but it will take half an hour. The tapasya at the body level for stopping the body to be misused and starting to it rightly used, these are the things to be done. Sawtooth Vachika tapasya, speech, tapasya at the level of speech. अनुद्वेगकरं वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तव उच्यते. वाचिक तपस्या. मन प्रसाद सौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपो मानसमुच्यते. Manasika. All these 3, when they are done with utmost Shraddha, that's called Sattvika Taddha. With Phalapeksha, it is Rajasika Tapasya, sorry. And when it is done with frustration, that is Tamasik Tapasya. Shraddhaya Paraya Taptam Tapatstattrividam Naraihi Afalakankshi Vairyuktaihi Sattvikam Parichakshate Satkaramana Pujartam Tapodambena Chaivayat Kriyate Tadiha Proktam Rajasam Chalamadhram मूढ़ग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्सादनार्थं वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्. The subject is of gunas. I just touched. No, that this सब मिलाकर आप पढ़ोगे तो ब्यूटीफुल होगा. All these things are natural to a शुद्ध सत्वगुणी. तपः. He takes initiative to work hard. He never goes for a shortcut and easy means, nor he for small little things also depends on others. No. Again, for the same thing, Gurudev's example. People followed him for their benefit. He did not depend on them. He went on doing his work. Of course, people were needed and they came inspired and he took them. Therefore, their coming also become a synergy, and work has become so expanded. But he did not say that मैं बैठा रहता हूँ एक जगह तुम लोग करो. His disciple devotees might have taken rest, but he never took rest. He said, if I rest, I rest. He has rested only in his samadhi after leaving the body, not till that moment. He is the highest adarsha for us. In so many such beautiful aspects, we need not look anywhere. Our Gurudev is sufficient. And there are so many great Mahatmas in different ways. But some of them some relaxed type, "Oh, तो ईश्वर करेंगे कुछ." गुरुदेव कहा ईश्वर करने दो. I will not add my work to him. I will do my work, and if possible his work also I will take. That's how 18 hours, 19 hours per day is to work. Every day for the entire life, not once in a week, once in a year. हम भी करते हैं 18 घंटे एक दिन में काम. कभी कभी जब शादी होती है कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट काम होता है. He was naturally that. You see the schedule of Gurudev, morning getting at 3:30, and you just observe how many books writing, articles writing, giving satsangs, having meetings, replying to the people on the letters, guiding the committees, conceiving the future programs, fundraising. आप देखो कितने सारे. It is a colossal in him, zero tamas and absolute sattva guna. To do the work of sattva guna, he has mastered and used his rajo guna. Because to do karma, you have to vigorous rajo guna. Gurudev is rajoguni, full of for the sattvic purpose. Many Mahatmas are full of sattvic purpose, but they don't have the rajoguna invoked, therefore their works are very less. अच्छा ही काम, but उतना नहीं. But see, throughout the world is spread, and outside our nation, his devotees are more than inside. Inside are using only his name. Tapaha. See how many definitions. So, Shamodamas, Tapasya, Titiksheksha, Tapaha. So, Shamaha, Damaha, Titiksha, Iksha, Tapaha. Then next comes Satyam. The two Satyams are the vocal truth speaking. Second is the conviction. Whatever is got at the intellectual level, practicing it. Intellectual honesty is Satyam. Then if you want to take the help of our morning class, Ratam vadishyami, Satyam vadishyami. What is Rutam? Yatha Shastram, Yatha Kartavyam, Buddhi Parinishtitam is called as Rutam. According to Shastra, with the Kartavyata Buddhi, our conviction about the truth in our intellect is called Rutam. Then Saeva Vakayabhyam Sampadyamanam Satyam. The same Rutam, when it is accomplished by practicing through the speech and body, is called as Satyam. See, that if you take here, it gives a complete definition. He will not take the support of Juta, of the Sahara of the Juta. That is one meaning. Secondly, he will not ask others. He is convinced about what to do on the strength of Shastra and Guru. He follows that only. That type of Satyam is natural to a Sattvic person. You and I are doing Satyam in one aspect. What is that? We are convinced that Shastra Jnana will inspire us for the ultimate goal. Shastra has to be studied every day. That conviction we are practicing every day by coming to class. Therefore, in this regard, we are Satya. But after listening to the class, we must do Mananam, Chintanam. Then only the heard information becomes received knowledge. This we are not Satyam because we understood it but not practicing, not giving sufficient time. Therefore, that non-practice, therefore, is not helping us there. Even some of us, when they do it, the next level is what? Whatever the knowledge I got digested, I must practice it. If it is outer action or outer sadhana, practice it inside if it is contemplation, meditation. And when does that one, pakka, he is doing satyam at that level, then that gives him result. There are some satyams which destroy us. Why? Satyam is intellectual honesty. Intellectually, I am convinced that there is a sukha in the world. and I'm practicing it, and that's called as Satyam, and that is destroying me because I'm not leaving the world and coming to the Lord. A bhogi, a terrorist also is Satyavadi. बिकॉज ही हैज कन्विंस्ड, उनको अपने वो मदरसा में सिखाते हैं कुछ भी हो जाए खुद भी मरो लेकिन सबको जरूर मारना. So they are decided, they are told decisively to kill cows and Hindus because they are sattvic. They are all good. So that conviction which was given in them, fanaticism, at their own cost of the life they do. That is Satyam, but it is so destructive. Like Ravanadi. They have convinced themselves that they have to rule, they have to be the bosses, nobody should be worshipped other than them. If anything is done, even if it's traditional good, we will destroy it. They try to practice it, but that conviction being wrong, therefore the practice of that Satya brought for their own destruction. Therefore, सत्य पालन करना अलग है, लेकिन वो सत्य किसको आप मान रहे हो वो अलग है. Therefore, only Shastra and Shastrokta Dharmadi Acharanam and Adhyatmikadi Sadhanam. They are the only true convictions when they are gained that we can say that we are convinced in the correct things. When we have the courage to practice them, then called as Satyam, it will help you and the world. Let any type of difficulty come. I will work hard and come out of that difficulty and achieve. This also Satyam, conviction. अदर फेलो कुछ करो कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है, आई थिंक जी के क्या करे, जब दिल टूट गया तो मैं मर जाऊंगा, दैट आल्सो इज सत्य. एंड a fellow dies also. Nobody achieved anything by dying. Achievements are done when you work hard while being alive. We are all do one सत्यम. क्या है, इस बंदेश में नहीं पड़ता है इसलिए मैं इनसे जिंदगी भर नहीं बात करूंगा. एंड वन पीपल डजंट टॉक आल्सो, बट इट्स नॉट द सॉल्यूशन. You give a chance throughout the life to sort out the issue. Somewhere or the other it clicks. Therefore, let me keep on trying. This conviction is correct Satyam. That should be practiced. Like that, the principle is Satyam. The definition of Satyam is this one. And its positive utility is here. The non-positive is here. So be careful about it. So this is very clear in this Sattva Guni, that you'll have the intellectual conviction based over the Shastra regarding doings, feelings, knowings. Doings are karma, feelings are emotion, knowings are the intellectual knowledges. You will only do that. So, Shamaha, Damaha, Titiksha, Iksha, Tapaha, Satyam. Then comes the most divine quality of Daya. By nature, he has got that compassion. Daya is getting melted when others are in difficulties. Sattva Guna ka lakshana hai, Daya. Okay. Then next comes Smritihi. The Smriti what? He always in the remembrance of Paramatma and always in the remembrance of the truth or the goal. सत्वगुणी कभी भूल नहीं जाता अपने भगवान को, अपने गुरुजनों को और अपना लक्ष्य तत्व को. That's called Smriti. Then Tushtihi. Tushtihi is a contentment. How? This contentment is one of the very good quality to eliminate the unwanted disturbances, distractions in the mind. Then the Tyagaha, Aspruha, Shraddha, Hridaya. These are some divine qualities. This we discuss tomorrow. कोई जल्दी नहीं है, थोड़ा थोड़ा समझो. एक जगह तो पूरा thoroughly समझे, पता नहीं दोबारा कहाँ हमको मौका मिलेगा. Just like Bhagavan Krishna understood that this is the last chance for me, he gave exhaustively. So we also should exhaustively study when Bhagavan gave. And just by naming them, भैया ये देखो तुष्टि त्याग अस्पृहा श्रद्धा हृदय ना, ये सब मिलकर सत्व गुण होता है. You heard only the words. Nothing of it is felt inside. It's just like you have heard the names of all eatables. Okay, the tongue gets the taste of it by listening the names. Will the stomach is filled and enjoying by अच्छा खाना मिला आज मुझे? Will the mind be satisfied? Yeah, good food is eaten. Only by uttering the names of the eatables. No, in the same way, only by uttering the names of these sadgunas, nothing is going to happen. We have to understand them, we have to practice them. Before practicing conviction, before conviction, understanding. So we try to understand them. Thank you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Krishna Chandra Bhagavan Ki Jai Sadgurnath Maharaj Ki Jai. Let us study our Ramayanam for some time. हे कृपा